Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK back at you with another video here to break down the 11-game NBA main slate here on Wednesday. A couple things before I get in the video. One, we're over 1.6 thousand subscribers now. Thank you guys all so much for all the support. Seriously, I really appreciate it. Two, I'm really trying to change the game here for daily fantasy. I'm trying to be the most open, transparent, DFS content provider out there. Win or lose, I will always go over my lineup. I always take my L's where need be. So, really trying to be, again, as open, as transparent as I can with you guys. And then finally, if you're new to the channel, I'm doing a weekly giveaway where all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. It starts my Monday night video at the beginning of the week, goes throughout the week, and ends with my Monday night show and video at the end of the week. So however many videos up for the week, you can enter the giveaway that many times. Let's say I have 10 videos up for the week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times, and the winner receives $20 PayPal from myself. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. First, let's look back at my lineup here from Tuesday, the first NBA slate of the year. So this is what I went with here: Lonzo Ball, Fred VanVleet, LeBron, OG, Siakam, NAW, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee. So, if you guys watch my video, if you guys watch my live stream, you knew I really liked VanVleet and Siakam. Both those guys killed it. Siakam was only 46% owned. Fred VanVleet was only 55%. So yeah, there's definitely still a huge edge here for NBA. OG was another guy, a solid value guy, right? I said I liked a lot of those Raptors guys. And I plugged him in with the studs. So LeBron, Anthony Davis, both McGee as my center. NAW, he, for shooting 1 of 10 in 12 minutes, he still put up 15 fantasy points. So I think the process was right there. A guy that you knew, if you watched my preseason videos, watched my summer league videos, he was super aggressive. Yeah, he shot the ball 10 times. Only made 1, but still got you 15 fantasy points. Imagine if he knocked down a few more of those. He would have crushed it. So I think the process was right there, taking a shot on NAW. Alonzo Ball, a little unfortunate there, not getting any fourth quarter run at all. Got very limited minutes-wise. The Pelicans ran a very confusing rotation, like a 12-man rotation, so I'm not really sure what Elvin Gentry was thinking. Tilted a lot of people, including myself, Lonzo, getting no fourth quarter minutes because he was on pace to have a really good game for 5.4K. Still, 22 is not terrible, but I mean, he could have easily had 30 plus if he played the fourth quarter. So a little frustrating there, but all in all, I think it's be a catching night here with, I still got LeBron, I still got Anthony Davis and McGee here in my lineup. So let's see if we can keep it going here for Tuesday or Wednesday. So we do not want to enter the in-game showdown. Before we get into, we got, again, 11 games. So I'm not going to be able to talk about every single player, but I'll do my best. Let's look at the spreads really quick before we jump into the prices. So first game of the slate is Pistons Pacers. 7.5 points spread. Pacers are favored. Over-under of 210. Bulls Hornets and over-under of 218 with the Bulls favored by 3. Magic Cavs 212 with the Magic favored by 8. Boston Philly 212 again with Philly favored by 5. Miami and Memphis, another 212 over-under with Miami favored by 7.5. Brooklyn and Minnesota sitting at 225.5, so a higher over-under with Brooklyn favored by 4. New York and San Antonio sitting at 214 with the Spurs favored by 10. Washington and Dallas sitting at 223 with the Mavs favored by 9. OKC and Utah again to 223.5 with the Jazz favored by 9. Nuggets Trailblazers sitting at 219.5 with the Trailblazers favored by 1.5. And then finally the late night hammer. I like this game a lot. 232.5 with the Kings favored by 1.5. So let's jump into the video and let's start with point guard today. So point guard at the top, Luka Doncic at 9.4K. Yeah, he's one of my favorite spend ups today in a great matchup. Now the concern is, can Washington keep this game close enough where Doncic and Porzingis have to play the whole fourth quarter? That's an ask, right? Because what's the spread here again? It's a 9-point spread, so there's definitely a little bit of blowout risk here. Washington, besides Beal, their lineup's looking not that good, so there's a little bit of blowout risk. But Doncic is a guy we saw in the preseason, right? He fills up the stat sheet. This is a great matchup, so I like him a good amount as a spend up. Lillard and Kyrie definitely solid here. I think I would lean towards Kyrie there. Devin Booker I like a lot here at 8.7. Again, I want a lot of pieces in that last game, the late night hammer, sitting at 232.5. And he played at a really fast pace. Devin Booker, we know a lot of upsides there, so I like him a good amount as a spend up. Ben Simmons at 8.5. The issue is with Philly they're such a balanced team. They got Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias, Al Horford, Josh Richardson. That's a lot of mouths to feed, and that's just the starting lineup, right? So that's the concern. The matchup, not necessarily the best. He can still get you there, but I think I'm going to prefer for other studs. Kemba, I mean, I think he's okay, right? It's just the matchup is so tough. I think Philadelphia is probably the best defense here, so don't know if I want to go Kemba. Levine at 7.9, we know what Levine does, right? He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. He's a guy that has been filling up the stat sheet more of late, and if his shot's falling, he can get you there. So, yeah, I think he's pretty solid. De'Aaron Fox at 7.7, I like a good amount. Again, I want a lot of pieces to this game, and we know the upsides that we saw in the preseason with this guy. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year, even more than he did last year, and the matchup is great. So I like De'Aaron Fox a good amount there at 7.7. Let's see, Chris Paul's okay at 7.4. There's some blowout concern there. Terry Rozier at 7.3. Hornets coach came out and said like he's going to play mid-30s minutes for the season, so that's really solid, right? We know he's going to play good minutes no matter what. The matchup here pretty good against the Bulls too. So I do like the upside here in Terry Rozier at 7.3K, kind of the main man now for the Hornets. Let's see, John Morant at 6.6, kind of him and Jaren Jackson with Jonas Valanciunas as well. Jonas Valanciunas is going to play limited minutes though. It's going to be interesting to see how this rotation works. On the preseason, the rotation was a little bit wonky for Memphis. He wasn't playing huge minutes, so it'll probably be a wait-and-see approach for now for me with John Morant, just because I don't know what the minutes necessarily are going to look like. Let's see. Other options. Jamal Murray has the upside any day, right? If he's knocking out shots, he can crush. Let's see. SGA at 6.1 I think is okay, but I think I'm going to prefer Dennis Schroeder for a lot cheaper. OKC started in the preseason. They started the three-guard lineup with Schroeder, SGA, and Chris Paul, so it's going to be interesting to see if they start that again. Let's see. RJ Barrett at 5.9 is okay. He played big minutes there in the preseason. Probably going to play big minutes again here in the regular season. Rubio's a guy that, doesn't necessarily have to score to get you there. I think that's a pretty solid price tag for a game. And a game that, is the highest over-under of the night. Jeff Teague is always okay, right? A pretty good match here. Kyrie defense, one of the worst defenders, so don't mind Jeff Teague. DeJounte Murray is a guy that, I think is going to have a breakout year as well. It's just you never know what the minutes going to be like with Popovich. But if he's going to play close to 30 minutes against the Knicks, yeah, I like DeJounte Murray a good amount here. Other options, let's see. Dennis Smith Jr., the whole point guard rotation, we don't really know what's going to be for New York. They got Dennis Smith Jr., they got Nicotina, they got Alfred Payton. So if I was going to take a shot on one of these Knicks guys, I think it would be Dennis Smith Jr., the point guard at least. But we know David Fizdale. If you played NBA DFS last year, you knew David Fizdale screwed myself and a lot of people a good amount of times with his just random rotations, and you just can never predict what's going to happen. So be aware, if you take a shot on Dennis Smith Jr., there's a chance that he plays like 10 minutes because it's David Fizdale, right? Satoransky, he's going to be starting point guard at 5.3K. I think that's pretty solid. The concern is they do have two other point guards with Chris Dunn and Kobe White, so maybe the minutes are not as high in Satoransky as I would like. So that is a concern with Satoransky there. Ish Smith going to be starting at point guard at 5.3K. He's definitely viable. I would have liked it if he was a little cheaper. Let's see, other options. Don't mind Monk there at 4.5. D Rose, coming off the bench with no Blake Griffin. So I think Derrick Rose is going to be asked to play some big minutes, and he's probably going to be like the number 2 in the offense coming off the bench with Drummond, right? So I kind of like him there at 4.4K, a guy that we don't, my best guess is he probably plays 25, maybe 30 minutes at the high end. Again, no Blake Griffin. Detroit might play a little bit more small ball, so I kind of like Derrick Rose there at 4.4K. Other options, let's see. Don't mind Kobe White, but we just don't know what the minutes are going to be like. Now, Schroeder here at 4.1K. No, the matchup not necessarily the best, but if they start that three-guard lineup again with Schroeder, Chris Paul, and SGA, I think Schroeder plays close to 30 minutes. So he's a guy that, whenever he has the ball, he's going to shoot. He's going to be aggressive. So at 4.1K, I kind of like that price tag on Dennis Schroeder if he's going to start. Let's see. What other options? Are there any other cheap options? Isaac Bamba is going to pick up a start here at 3.6K. Don't mind him as a cheap value play. He's a lower usage guy, but if he plays 25, 30 minutes, he can definitely get you there. I think that's basically it for point guard. Kendrick Nunn, He's a guy that had a really good summer league. If you guys watch my summer league videos, a pretty solid preseason. Like that last preseason game, he had like 40 points. I don't know if he's going to be in the regular season rotation. We'll see. I mean, they have Dragic they've been using off the bench, so I don't know if we can go there yet unless we know that he's going to be in the rotation. And I think that's basically it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Shooting guard, Doncic, Beal here at 8.8K. You could definitely play both as a game stack. Beal's going to be obviously the go-to guy. Going to be asked to play some big minutes, and I like the upside in him. So yeah, if the Wizards are going to keep it close, Beal's going to have a good game, right? No John Wall. That starting lineup besides Beal is Beal and Thomas Bryant, but it's probably one of the worst starting lineups in the league. So Beal's going to have to do a lot here at 8.8K. Jimmy Butler 7.6. I kind of like this. Memphis, I'm not scared of that matchup. They're a different team, right? They got a lot of younger guys that want to play at a faster pace. So this is not the Memphis team of old. We can definitely target players against Memphis. DeRozan at 7.2 is always okay. Buddy Hield, again, I want a lot of pieces of this game. I think I prefer De'Aaron Fox at a similar price point, but Hield's the guy that he can easily light up, right? He's kind of a little more scoring dependent, but if you knock down threes, we know the upside's there with Buddy Hield. Let's see. Again, Wiggins, you guys know. If you guys watch my videos by now, I just never play him. Two scoring dependent, right? Same thing with Terrence Ross, right? 2 scoring dependent. Reggie Jackson at 5K, I just don't think we have to go there. I know there's no Blake Griffin. It's just, I don't think we have to take the shot there. I would prefer taking a shot with Derrick Rose off the bench, personally. Now, Tyler Hero is a guy that no Deion Waiters going to be suspended for the first game. It's going to be interesting. Maybe Tyler Hero picks up a start here. Who knows? In the preseason, they have been starting Justice Winslow a little bit of points. So we'll see. Even if he comes off the bench, he's worth a look at 4.8K. Obviously, I like him more if he starts, but yeah, he's been lighting up in the summer league in the preseason. So we know the upside's there. The price tag's solid. Bogdan Bogdanovic, though, one of my favorite value plays here at 4.8K. Gonna play probably 25 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more in the best of game environment, right? 232 over under. Gonna be played at a really fast pace. There's gonna be a lot of points scored in this one. Yeah, he's gonna be coming out the bench, right, leading the second unit. Him and Rashawn Holmes. I like both those guys a good amount as cheap options. So yeah, Bogdan to 4.8K. We know when he's out there, he's gonna be aggressive. He's gonna shoot the ball a ton. So those are the guys we want to target at cheap price points. So I do like Bogdan a good amount here at 4.8. Let's see, what else do we got? Will Barton's a guy. We don't know who Denver is starting yet at small forward. If he comes out I would probably prefer Barton actually if he comes out the bench. He's a higher usage guy, right? He's going to be aggressive out the bench. So I think I'd prefer him actually coming out the bench and playing with the starters. Culver, 4.1K is okay. We just don't know what the Mets are going to be like, really. They have Covington, right? They got Wiggins. Let's see. Other options. Trier, the Knicks said they got Mitchell Robinson and Gibson questionable. If they both miss, the Knicks said they're going to start Bobby Portis and then Alonzo Trier too. So we'll see. If he starts, you could consider him, but I kind of only like targeting Trier when there was so many guys out for New York last year. But I think that's basically it for shooting guard. So let's move on to small forward. Small forward, let's see. We're going to talk about a good amount of these guys. Gallinari's okay here, 7.1. Tobias, again, the issue with the Philly guys is they're just so many mouths to feed in that offense. That's a concern, right? Aaron Gordon at 6.4K, that seems a little too cheap for him. Let's see. Isaac at 6.1, he's a guy that gets your blocks and steals, right? He flashed a little bit of upside there in the preseason. I think if I was picking between those two, though, I would lean towards Aaron Gordon. Tatum, the same thing here kind of with Boston. They're a balanced team, right? Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Hayward, they got Kemba. They got Cantor, they got guys that they're going to spread the usage around. So that, this Philly-Boston game, we're not super high on, just because both teams are pretty balanced. Let's see. Otto Porter's always a guy that can get you their blocks and steals. Covington, in the last couple of preseason games, he was getting insane amount of rebounds. They getting 19 rebounds and then 10 rebounds in a game. But he's been getting a lot of rebounds, and I think the Mets will be pretty solid in a good matchup. He's a guy that, again, gets their blocks and steals. So I think Covington's a pretty solid player there at 5.4. The other Bogdanovich, a little too scoring dependent for my liking. I would much prefer Bogdan, but Bojan, if he's knocking down threes, can get you there. Let's see. Dario Saric, don't mind him if he picks up the start. I assume he's going to pick up a start at the 4. Let's see. Other cheap options. Oh, there is one guy I wanted to bring up here. Oh, that's a small forward. That's a power forward. Okay, I think that's basically it for small forward. So let's move on to power forward. Power forward here, Porzingis at 8.2K. I think is too cheap right now. It's just like one of the best possible matchups, bigs against Washington. Thomas Bryant, not the best defender, even with Hachimura. So Kristaps Porzingis, I love the upside in him. He's a guy, again, blocks, steals. Really like him, really like Doncic. You could definitely game stack that, right, with Porzingis, Doncic, and Brad Beal if you wanted to. Markkanen here at 7.8K in a good matchup. I think that's a pretty solid price tag. I really like the price tag here in Randall at 7.8K. The issue is the matchup not necessarily the best, but he's a guy that's probably going to have to play big minutes, 35-plus minutes. We know when he gets minutes, he can crush. He's a very high-usage guy. The Knicks in the preseason, they were running the offense through Randall. So, yeah, I like Randall there at 7.8. Kevin Love at 7.6, definitely viable. The concern is we just don't know if he's going to play huge minutes because he's getting up there in age. Let's see. Marvin Bagley here at 7.2. Again, I really like him. I just like a lot of pieces in this game. Bagley has flashed a lot of upside here in the last game. Well, against Melbourne, he had 30 points, 14 boards, 3 steals. He's a guy that they've been giving a lot of minutes to now starting power forward. So yeah, I kind of like Marvin Bagley there as a spend up. Bam Adebayo, I really like this play at 7K. If you guys have been watching my preseason videos, I am all over Bam this year. Memphis, not scared of the matchup here, right? They're going to be playing at a faster pace. The only concern is Jonas Valanciunas is active, and he's a guy that can get Bam in foul trouble. So that's a little concerning, right? Because Jonas Valanciunas is pretty aggressive on the offensive end. So there is some concern that Bam gets in foul trouble. If he can stay out of foul trouble, I love the upside on him. Blocks, steals, he's going to play big minutes. No Whiteside, right? So, yeah, I really like Bam here at 7K. The only concern is the foul trouble risk. Now, Sabonis at 6.9, another guy that I really love. Just signed an extension to 4 years, $77 million. The Pacers are really running the offense through him, and the rotations, from what I saw in the preseason, are really good, right? He plays the first 6 minutes, plays the first 6 minutes, then subs out and comes back in to close the first quarter and then play a bit of the second quarter there with the second unit. So I like that a lot here. Sabonis 6.9K. Again, they've kind of been running the offense through him. I don't think that price is up there enough. No Blake Griffin too, so yeah, sign me up for some Sabonis there at 6.9. Thomas Bryant too at 6.6 is too cheap. He's like a walking double-double, right? Always gets like a few blocks too, so I kind of like him, right? You can definitely game stack this game with Beal, Bryant, Doncic, Porzingis if you really wanted to, and then run it back with value plays. Don't mind that at all. Jaren Jackson Jr., we know like the upside's high in this guy, but the floor is low. He is always in foul trouble. So do I want to pay 6.4K for a guy that, there's probably like a 40-50% chance he gets in foul trouble. So I think I'm going to pass, at least on this big of a slate. If it was a smaller slate, I might take a shot, but it just worries me too much, right? In the preseason, if you guys watch my videos, he burned me one time, and then he fouled out like back-to-back games. It's just, I don't think I want to take a shot there on a guy that, I think it's almost a 50% chance he gets in foul trouble. So probably going to stay away. Let's see. Gordon Hayward, again, it's just Boston, pretty balanced team. Same thing with Philly, right? Oubre at 5.6, that's a doable price. Bobby Portis, if Mitchell Robinson and Taj Gibson both miss, then Bobby Portis and Randall are going to be asked to play big minutes. And Bobby Portis is, when he's aggressive, this guy is great, right? But when I was watching Knicks games when he started, he kind of stood in the corner a good amount with, again, they were running the offense through Randall, so that is a concern. But the minutes should be solid if Mitchell Robinson and Taj Gibson are both out. So he would be a guy that I would definitely consider if both those guys are out. Um, let's see, other options. Don't mind Zach Collins there, 5.4. Jared Allen, I like that he's power forward eligible. Not going to play huge minutes, right? Him and DeAndre Jordan going to kind of split the center minutes. And there is concern that definitely foul trouble concern here, right? Going up against Cat. Cat's going to be very aggressive in the offensive end. So there's a bit of foul trouble concern too. If he stays out of foul trouble, I think Jared Allen can get you there in like 20 to 25 minutes. Now, Marcus Morris at 5.1K. Obviously you guys know the narrative of he signed to the Spurs, then switched over and came to the Knicks. So there's going to be some hate involved there. At 5.1K, though, he has really flashed some upside here for the Knicks. So I think he's a pretty solid play there in the mid-range. Let's see. Hashimura here, 4.9, going to be picking up the start. We don't necessarily know what the minutes are going to be like, right? The guys like Bertans and Mo Wagner off the bench, but I think he's worth a look as a cheaper guy. Christian Wood at 4.8, I really want to play him with no Blake Griffin. I think he's going to be more of the backup 5, so I think he's only going to get like backup 5 minutes. They got Thon Maker. We'll see. If for some reason the Pistons start Christian Wood, I obviously like him a lot. I just don't necessarily know if the minutes will be there for him, so we'll see. Let's see other options. Again, Taj Gibson listed as questionable. Bielitsa is a guy that's going to come off the bench, shoot the ball a decent amount. Don't hate him, I guess, as a cheap play. Brandon Clark with Jonas Valanciunas playing limited minutes. Don't mind him here at 3.8K. Again, he flashed a bit of upside there in the Summer League as well as the preseason. So if he gets 20 to 25 minutes, I would really like this play as a value play. So I think he's definitely worth a shot there. Again, Thon Maker should play some extra minutes without Blake Griffin. Don't mind him there. Rashawn Holmes do like a good amount. No Harry Giles, so he's going to play backup 4, a little backup 5, and a revenge game narrative as well. He's just a guy that whenever he's out there, he's super aggressive. So I like him. I like Bogdan in that second unit. Holmes is a guy that seems to always get like at least a block or a steal. He fills up the stat sheet, so I like him there at 3.7K as a cheap option. And then another option here, I'm surprised his price was so low, where is he at? Meyers Leonard at 3.1K. Now, the Heat have been starting him at the power forward in the preseason. We don't necessarily know if that's going to continue into the regular season, but if it does, I think he's safe for 20 to 25 minutes, maybe a little more. And at basically mid-price, he'd be one of the top value plays. So if he starts again, yeah, I would really like Meyers Leonard here at 3.1K. And then finally, center. Towns, right? It's always you want to target bigs against Brooklyn. Doesn't really change here. Jared Allen, not the best defender. DeAndre Jordan, a little bit better defender, but still, Cat should have his way. I like him a good amount here at 10.1. Embiid and Jokic definitely viable as well. I think I'm going to lean towards Towns, though, if I'm picking between those guys. Vucevic is okay here at 8.6. Drummond with no Blake. The upside's there in this guy, too, but he's another guy that gets in foul trouble a lot. So the concern is, again, that he gets in foul trouble. If he stays out of foul trouble, I think he can have a big game here at 8.4K. DeAndre Aiden, I would have liked it if he was cheaper. 8K is a little much for Aiden. We know the upside's there, but I think I'm going to prefer other guys at a similar price point. But again, I do like that game as part of a game stack. So if you really want to stack that game up, you could play Aiden for sure. Let's see, again, Aldridge is viable. Whiteside, the concern is he's going up against Jokic, right? So definitely some foul trouble risk. But if he stays out of foul trouble, I think Whiteside plays 25 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more. And he's a guy that gets you their blocks, steals, putbacks. I would have liked it if he was a little cheaper, but I definitely think he's in play here at 7K. Again, Jonas Valanciunas, I don't necessarily think I could go there if he's going to be on the minutes limit. Obviously, I would like him a lot if he was not going to be on a minutes limit, but if he's going to play limited minutes, I don't think we can go there. Let's see, Miles Turner is 6.3K, right? He's a guy that can get your blocks. He seems to always get a couple blocks a game. Going up against Drummond, probably going to be asked to play big minutes, so don't mind him there at 6.3. Tristan Thompson at 5.7 is okay in the mid-range. Wendell Carter Jr. has had that thumb issue, but he's probable. 5.6, I think he's fairly priced. I would have liked it if he was a little cheaper for sure. Cantor's a guy that probably going to be coming out the bench, but he's always aggressive at 5.5K. I think he's okay. I would have liked it if he was cheaper too. Dedmon's a guy that don't mind him here at 5.1K. And he's been knocking out some threes in the preseason too, so don't hate him at 5.1K. I definitely think he's in play. Millsap, I always kind of lean towards Millsap, or go to Millsap with Jokic. With Jokic playing, I just think he's okay here, 4.9K. He kind of takes a back seat offensively. Other options, Jakob Poeltl here at 3.9. I do kind of like that price on him. Not going to play huge minutes. They got Trey Lyles. They got Aldridge. They got Jakob Poeltl, obviously. So, again, I don't think he'll play huge minutes, but 15 to 20, maybe 25. So at 3.9K, I think he's a pretty solid value play. Mo Bamba going to be backing up Vucevic. If Vucevic gets in foul trouble, he could crush. The starters for the starting center for Boston, we don't really know who's going to be, whether it's going to be Tice, Robert Williams, or Cantor. They kind of run a 3-center rotation. So if I was going to play center in Boston, I guess it would be Cantor. But at 5.5K, that's a little much. Like I like Cantor. He's always aggressive, but I would have liked it if he was cheaper for sure. Let's see. Aaron Baines going to be probably playing the backup 5. Don't hate him as a really cheap option at 3.4K. And I think that's kind of it. So, again, if you're game stacking for GPPs, I think my preferred targets would be, I kind of like the Chicago-Charlotte game, Minnesota-Brooklyn, obviously, Washington-Dallas, and then probably my favorite, going to be popular though, right, with the highest over-under with Kings and the Suns. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get into the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. I unfortunately will not be able to live stream today through Friday and Saturday. So the next 4 days, actually, on my YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I have to stay late for work. So, but that will only happen this week. I'll be back my normal live streaming schedule. Probably live stream Sunday and then going, starting again next week. So I do apologize. I will not be able to live stream here on my YouTube channel the next few days, but I will be as active as I can on Twitter with information and stuff. So very important to follow me on Twitter if you guys don't. And I think that's it. So thanks again for coming to check out the video, guys, and I will see you later.